Hey sunshine, happy Sunday. It's Twana Cherie from Be Fit Be Fly. I hope you're doing well. So I'm in the corner of my kitchen, and what I'm doing right now is preparing a snack for myself and my family for the week. And what I'm preparing is my homemade granola, which I love. My homemade granola is full of fiber from the oats, full of protein, and full of healthy fats. So the healthy fats is the coconut oil I'm going to use, and the nuts and seeds I'm going to use, and then the fiber and the good grains that I'm using is from gluten-free oats. So right now I have 3 cups of oatmeal, quick oatmeal, in the oven toasting up. And basically I use 2 types, whatever I have handy. I'm using the gluten-free organic oats today. And then for some reason I have this in my pantry also. So whichever one you want to use is fine, but I like the quick oats. That's what I'm using. So right now that is in the oven, and if you give me a second, I'm gonna go ahead and check it and make sure I'm not burning it. Hold on a second. So basically this is what it looks like. So I have 3 cups of the oats laid out on my on my baking sheet, and I have it in the oven at 350 degrees. And basically what I wanted to do is just toast up a little bit. And when you're toasting it up, it gives it a little flavor. Okay, so in here I have my little pan, my little saucepan, medium saucepan. I'm gonna just pull down my camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I apologize if you can't see my face and what I'm doing at the same time. But that's what happens when you're doing all this by yourself. So anyway, here's my little saucepan, and what I'm gonna do is, let me move my bowl. We'll do that in a second. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in my pan. Okay, 2 to 3 tablespoons. It depends how much granola I'm making. And so this is the coconut oil I'm using. There's so many different kinds on the market, but it's organic coconut oil. Okay, and let me go ahead and put the second one in. Okay, so like I said, it all depends on how much of the granola I'm making. But right now, here's 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that on a low heat. Make sure it's low because it will smoke up on you pretty quickly. And in my oil, I'm gonna bring this back up so you can see me. And in my oil, and this is what's gonna combine the oats and the seeds. And I'll go over the seeds in a minute and the nuts. But with the coconut oil, I'm gonna add a little raw honey. I love the taste of the raw honey. And the raw honey, of course, is great for our immune system. So I'm using a little of the raw honey. I'm using a little organic brown sugar. Okay, so that's where the sweetness is coming in at. And I'm gonna use a little vanilla. I'm gonna use a little cinnamon and ginger in my sauce. So, and also a pinch of salt. Now, just a word about the nuts and the seeds. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and take out the oats. It's been in the oven for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on 350 degrees. So I'm gonna take that out, let that cool just a little bit. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it in our bowl. Okay, like I said, I have the coconut oil melting away. I might have to add just a little bit more coconut oil, just a little bit. So that's about 2.5 tablespoons. It may seem like a lot of oil, but we're cooking a big batch of granola, and the granola is going to last us for the week. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and just eat on the granola all day long today. It's really for the week. So I have that still melting away, and what we're going to do is, while that's melting away, and I'm going to let that melt before I add in the sugar and the honey and everything else, because once we add in the sugar, we really have to work quickly because it'll start thickening up and really start seizing on you. So you want to work really quickly. So before all that, I'm going to go ahead and add my oats and my seeds. So stay with me. I'm going to pull down the camera again so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so here is my oats. All right, I'm going to reuse this and put it back on my pan, because we're going to put the granola mixture back in the oven to let it toast up. Let me grab my thing here. Okay, making sure this is on low. I don't want my coconut oil to burn up. Okay, so in my bowl, I have my oats, right? Bring the camera up a little bit more. And what I'm going to put in it is slivered almonds. This is about a cup, and you see I have it in little baggies. So when I bring home my nuts and seeds, I usually just put it in baggies. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and add that in. I have pumpkin seeds. My little baggie, pumpkin seeds, and these are already roasted. Roasted and unsalted. So please be aware, when you're buying your nuts and seeds, I go to the bulk aisle and I buy my nuts and seeds. Please, please, please make sure they are unsalted. You're wasting your time making this if you're using salted nuts and salted seeds. It's just way too fattening and way too much sodium. What I like about making my own is that I can control the amount of sugar and salt that I'm putting in my snack, okay? So here's a half a cup of sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, so healthy for you. It's a healthy fat, okay? So it's omega-3 healthy fat. It's heart healthy. It helps control your weight. And what I really love about it, it is very satisfying. So you don't need a lot of it. I know you've heard nuts can be very fattening. And yes, if you're sitting there eating a whole bowl of nuts, yes, that could be very fattening. But I don't want you to be afraid of that. Have just a handful at a time, and you'll feel satisfied, and you're going to get those healthy fats, the healthy fiber, and the heart healthy benefits from it. And the last thing, well, not the last thing, next to the last thing I'm using is flax seeds and chia seeds, okay? And I have this in my baggie, and this is probably a little less than a quarter cup. All the other seeds and nuts I'm using is a half a cup. And then the oats, I'm using 3 cups because I want a lot of fiber in my snack. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to add is some cranberries. Now I'm only using a few dry cranberries with no sugar added. And I'm only using a little bit because dry cranberries has a lot of sugar. Dry fruit in general has a lot of sugar. So you want to use just a little bit of it. And I like the cranberries. It gives it a great sweet taste. And I just love the color. So, you know, with us cooks, it's always about what it looks like, right? So anyway, so that's what I'm putting in. Here's my bowl of all this yummy stuff. So I have the oatmeal. And the oatmeal is uncooked. You saw what I did. I roasted it in the oven, toasted it in the oven. I have the almond slivers. I have pumpkin seeds. I have sunflower seeds. And I have chia seeds and flax seeds in this, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pinch of salt, just a pinch. This is where the salt comes in at. And when you're buying granola in the supermarket, just look at the back of it and make sure it doesn't have too much sodium or too much sugar in it. That's why I like making my own, because I can control the amount of sodium and sugar. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back on the side for a second and finish up my sauce. So I have the coconut oil in there. I'm going to go ahead and add my raw honey. Remember what I said about raw honey is great for our immune system and digestive system. If you have allergies, this is just a great thing to use. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Okay. And then, where is my towel? And then I'm going to add in my sugar. Hold on one second. Let me just grab a spoon. I'm going to turn it down. All right. Oh, you know what? I can use my little cup here. So I got about a quarter cup of brown sugar. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. We're working fast. I'm going to pull that down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab my whisk. Okay. This is what it looks like. Okay. Yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, there we go. It's mixing in. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Okay, so it's mixing up, it's getting thick, and the sugar and the oil is separating. So I want to work really quickly before my sugar sticks to the bottom of my pan. Pull this back up so you can see me. Okay. And I'm going to bring my bowl over here. I'm going to put in some cinnamon, and I just eyeball it. Okay, so you want to put in maybe an 1/8 of a teaspoon, a little ginger, but 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then in my pan, I'm going to add some vanilla. Great flavor. You can use vanilla, extract, Make sure it's the real kind, not imitation. Or you can use almond flavor too. That's really great. Okay, here we go. I've turned this off already. I'm going to give it another mix. Okay, see that? This is going to be so good. Okay, there we go. I have everything in here that I want to put in. And what I'm going to do is add it right here into my bowl. So I'm just gathering the sugar, the oil. And remember, I'm controlling the amount that's going in here. When you buy it out of the package, you don't know how much sugar or salt or oil is in it. So just be careful. You know, I understand you don't have time to make it all the time, but try this recipe. It's fun. You can put whatever kind of nuts you want in it. You can put as much sugar or salt you want in it. I would hope it's not that much. And you can kind of experiment. Okay, so here I am. Mixing it in, working fast, because I don't want it too many lumps. Because what happens is when the sugar is hot, it starts clumping up. And I really want my mixture to have all the flavor of the coconut oil, which is a healthy oil. I love coconut oil. You can use other oils, but that's my preferred oil. And it gives a slight coconut taste, but not a deep coconut taste, just a slight one, which makes it fantastic in this granola. You see that? Look how fast that has come together. So no talking on the phone or yelling at your kids or anything, you know. Really just focus on getting this mixed up as fast as you can. Okay? So what I'm going to do is taste it. This is so yummy. This is so yummy. I'm going to put a drip more honey. Just a drip. Here it is. You taste it. You taste your food as you go. I just want a little more sweetness. And let me bring my pan over here. I'm going to bend this down so you can see how I'm pouring this out. You see these beautiful colors? You see that? And then I'm just going to pour it on my pan. There's it. Take my spatula. Spread it out. And I'm going to put it back in my oven, 350 degrees. And this is probably going to go in for about another 15 minutes because I want everything just to come together, toast up a little bit more. Okay, and that's it. And then what I'm going to do once it comes out, I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator. Once it comes out, I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator for about an hour so it really gets hard. And that's where you get the hard pieces and the full, you know, chunks of granola. Now, if you wanted just to keep it like this, put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about, like I said, 15 minutes or so. You can have at it at that point. But I like to put it in the refrigerator because I like nice little chunks of the granola like you see in the store. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven, and I'll try to come back and show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay? Talk to you later.